What's up, guys? Flying Scorpion here, and today we're going to be talking about the best place to level up Warframes in 2020. Look, guys, I don't want to stretch this out to be a 10-minute video, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. Selkie on Sedna on the Steel Path is, in my testing, the best place to farm affinity for leveling up Warframes. Now, I'll go into the details why if you're interested. And I really recommend that whenever somebody makes a bold statement like that, don't just take their word for it. Don't just take what they said for granted. Don't just believe them if they have a lot of followers or whatever, for example. Find out how they came to that conclusion. So I'm going to post some notes up here on the screen, and these are the results of my testing. So I ran Hydron, I ran Selkie, and I ran Amarna, all on the Steel Path. I also ran Hydron on normal, and I also ran some of these missions solo and some of them in a team. Now, from what I understand, Hydron or Helene are some of the best places to level up Warframes. People might go to some off nodes here and there, but in my experience, Hydron has been the best place to level up Warframes. So I started off there, and I ran it on public with my girlfriend, and we had 4 players with us in the beginning, and then we had 3 players for the waves, for waves 6 to 10. And the less players you have, the less spawns that you get, and it negatively affects your spawn rates. And if you're trying to level up a Warframe, typically you need to be there for more than 10 waves, like 15 waves, 20 waves, maybe even 30 waves. It depends upon whether or not you have an affinity booster. It also depends upon if you have teammates, how many people are there in the mission with you. And generally, the results vary wildly on Hydron. A lot of it depends on how many people are with you and how long they're willing to stay. So even though we didn't have the ideal situation where we had 4 players all the way through to the end of the test, because we lost a player halfway through it, I think that kind of accurately represents what you can experience when you go to Hydron. So anyway, the numbers, when we went Hydron, normal, and public, we got in total 658 kills across the whole team. Now, in total, I got 530,569 raw affinity. Now, how did I come up with that number? Well, I had a lens on my Warframe, on all of my weapons. Lenses convert around 1.25 to 2 point something % affinity gained into a focus school. So I looked at all my lenses, I ran the numbers, and here's the opportunity for human error to be involved. I may have made mistakes on it, but I'm pretty confident that I got the numbers right. And so I calculated the amount of total affinity that I got by the end of the mission. Then I divided that total by how many minutes it took for us to run the mission, and then I came up with how much affinity per minute for that mission. So for Hydron on normal, with 3 to 4 players, we got about 56,433 affinity per minute, with close to 10 minutes closing time at the end of 10 waves. So you may get better numbers than that, but that's just what I got. So that's one of the things that's going to be consistent among this. Your results may vary. These are the results that I got through my testing. Okay, so then I ran Hydron on the Steel Path on public again, and again, I think we had like 3 players throughout the whole thing. It took us 14 minutes to get through 10 waves, close to 15 minutes. We got 783 kills, so it's kind of surprising. It's actually more kills, but I think that's because on the Steel Path, you have maximum spawn rates regardless of whether or not you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 players. So we had more kills in total, and we got 752,000 raw affinity for a grand total of 51,000 affinity per minute. So it was actually pretty close to Hydron on normal, just a little bit less. And there's room for improvement on there by improving our kill time. But yeah, that wasn't bad, actually. It was pretty close. If I was running corrosive projection along with my girlfriend as well, then we may have ended up getting more affinity per minute by reducing the enemy's armor. I'll tell you, corrosive projection on a full team of 4 players will make a big difference on your kill efficiency on the Steel Path. So I ran it solo, and my numbers were awful, but I'm not really surprised by that. If you're going to run Steel Path Hydron solo, I think it's expected that it's going to be less efficient than running with a team. That, I don't think I need to show you that in numbers to, It just makes sense that the numbers are bad. Okay, so then I ran Selkie on the steel path, and I was really surprised, but I got more affinity per minute there than anywhere else. I got 59,611 affinity per minute, and that was solo, guys. That wasn't with any team members. If I had team members, if there was 2, 3, or 4 people with corrosive projection, our kill efficiency would have gotten way higher, and we would have had even more affinity per minute, provided that we were all in close proximity to one another. So that's one of the, there's an upside and a downside. The upside to running survival on steel path is you have maximum spawn rate regardless of however many teammates you have, and that seriously improves the consistency with which you can use this to level up a Warframe. So, you know, there's that. The downside is that if your teammates spread out all over the place, you're not going to be inside of each other's affinity range, and this can negatively impact your affinity per minute. So there's that side to it too. But if you want to team up with one other person, like let's say for example, you got a teammate that you want to help boost up. So for example, if I want to help my girlfriend level up another Warframe, I'm going to take her to Selkie on the steel path, and I'm going to run my Saren. We'll both run corrosive projection, and I'm going to help her level up faster there than on Hydron, whether it's normal or the steel path. There's something else to point out here too. So if you're solo and you want to run this, and you know you're leveling a level 0 Warframe, you're going to have a hard time. It's going to suck. Now, typically, if you're having a level 0 Warframe and you're taking it to Hydron, you can use really good weapons to kind of compensate for that. The affinity gain is still not going to be ideal. You're really better off having some teammates to improve the spawn rates with you, and also to help you with killing things fast. But you know what? If you're running Selkie Steel Path on a level 0 Warframe, there's some things that you can do to improve your survivability and potentially do it with a level 0 Warframe. First, I would say equipping Eracta Dark Dagger and using its shield regeneration capabilities to keep yourself topped up with shields and overshields, and that'll help keep you from getting one shot by a random grenade or something like that, or a bombard or whatever. Another thing that you can do is you can run a Nikana with the Amalgam Daiku Target Acquired mod. This is a little bit more of a complicated setup. You need more weapons, and you also need that special mod, but you can use that with any Nikana, even a Za Nikana, even a Za Nikana with Exodia Contagion, like you're seeing in the background footage here, and you can really just nuke large groups of enemies. You can easily nuke them from range and just destroy huge clusters of enemies, and it heals you. Every time you hit a group of enemies, it's going to top you up to full health pretty much every time. And the downside, though, the risky thing to that is your health tanking at that point, and you don't have, there is no health gate. If you get one shot by a grenade, you will die. And that actually happens to me in this background footage. Now, I was running a Kavat that revived me, and that's, you know, that's something that you can do as well if you're doing this. If you don't want to have to worry about dying and your health tanking, that Kavat works really well for that. But yeah, the easiest solution would be to run a Eracta Dark Dagger and just use the radiation procs to level up your shields. That's like the most accessible one. But anyways, guys, I hope this video was helpful to you. I think that Selkie has the potential to dethrone Hydron. The only thing is you need somebody who has access to the steel path to take you there, or if you have access to it yourself, and you're probably going to want a teammate or 2 or 3 with you there. But if you do, I think this might be the best place to level up Warframes in 2020 and Warframe. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Flying Scorpion. You heard it here first. You saw it here first. And leave a like and leave a comment, especially, and I want to say one more thing, I could be wrong. I am a human being. There's potential for me to be wrong. If you notice anything wrong, or if you find a better place, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Either way, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.